I think hip hop is rappers want to be NBA players. He became a rapper after his boxing career. So like, it's very close. The fact that we have it's the first hip hop fight. So it's monumental, for the culture of hip hop and for boxing as well. And it's so crazy that it's at the same time as, the biggest hip hop festival that we have on the continent. So I'm very excited about it, but to answer your question, like, hip hop is a sport.
Yeah, man, my sentiments exactly. I think for me, I think the biggest issue we have in South Africa is that the integration of like sports and music isn't aligned, because like if you go to soccer games, for instance, like that audience there can be the same audience that comes to our shows. You know what I mean? But like we're not in unison. Like we don't find soccer dudes. Or let me say like hip hop artists rapping Pirates jerseys or Sundowns jerseys in their music videos, and vice versa, or going to cricket games. Or I think behind the scenes, like a lot of the dudes are like cool with each other. They follow each other on Instagram, but we're really not integrating the sports. In the States, LeBron James is the one who's premiering the new Drake song. You know what I'm saying? And like we kind of really need that culture here. And I think that this is what we're trying to do with this.
No? Shout out Cass, shout out Priddy, and everyone else that's here. I go by the name of Waters Langini from VFM, voice of this. Question for Priddy really. So most people are out here saying that this is more of a PR stunt, as a musical artist as yourself. I just want you to let us know, where are you feeling right now, and what does this fight mean to you, as as a musical artist moving forward, and also as just someone that has been fighting for their whole life.
For me, I think it's a great PR exercise. We're not gonna sit here and act like Cass is one of the biggest artists that we have on the continent. You know what I'm saying? So even him taking this fight with me, is obviously bringing me a lot of more PR attention and that kind of thing. But outside of that, man, it's like I'm a fighter. We're going on the 1st of October. It's not about who has the biggest fan base, who has the most engagement on the Instagram. It's like, who has the best, who has the best moves, who has the strongest punch, who can take a punch the hardest. It's a real fight. So like right now, like we're cool, we're next to each other, there's no real issue. But in the ring, it's something completely different. Each of us needs to be like completely switched on. And I'm a beast, dog. Like you guys are gonna find out in a week from now. Trust me.
I also just want to ask Priddy, I think maybe with this fight specifically, you're the one who's gotten the most backlash on social media and people tweet. How do you take that in? How do you take focusing on a fight, being a dad, being a husband, being a musician, and having to just have your mental capacity still on point for yourself? How do you deal with people talking?
Yeah, for me, like, self-love is the best love. For real, it's like, there's nothing, absolutely nothing anybody can say to me that would switch off how I think about myself, you know what I mean? And because I got like a very close knit of people around me, like, who really love me, who really support me, my family, I'm like a very family-orientated guy. So it's like, outside of the fight, like, I've been getting hate my whole life, and that's never stopped me. Otherwise, I would have stopped 15 years ago, you know what I'm saying? But we're still here. For me, everything God yearns patience and time. And it's my time now.
It's definitely your time to shine. All the best. Mina using your support, but I wish I could ask her, hey, guys, where do you think this one's going? But before you do that, let's take another question.
Yep, I'm back. For Cass this time. Papa Khot.
Your questions are difficult.
Okay, let's start smooth. Short your video after the
That's the more local issue.
Just a quick one. So you mentioned just previously that the previous fight was won by knockout. So can you please let us know now what are the terms and conditions now for this one?
Yeah. So fortunately with this one, we agreed that there will be a pointing system. Should there not be a knockout, there will be professional judges that will judge the fight, and which is great because we both know what's going to happen. We're not going to find out at the end of the fight. So we both training for both situations, you know. So it's definitely not going to be a draw because of exhibition rules and changing the gloves the day before. None of that stuff, you know. We've agreed on everything before we started training, and yeah, those are the conditions. You know, he's gone.
Hey, I'm Bongiwe from Sunnywood. I just want to know if I have friends outside. Do you hang out? Do you
No, we're not friends. We're not friends at all. To be honest with you, I don't have industry friends. You know what I mean? But there's definitely a respect, man. I mean, you know, we're cool. I got a lot of respect for homie. We kind of live in almost the same area, so like, now and then I don't see him all the time, but I see like a lot of people in his team. But no, we're not friends.
So you're bumping into each other at the shops?
No, not really.
I don't think they shop for themselves. I think they see people.
You know what? What's funny is, I think I've only had one conversation with Priddy like that's long. Besides, like, it tells a show, you know, and that was when I was asking him for tips for gym. Like, that's how, you know, I met him and I was like, man, you're always in great shape. How do you do this? And he's like, no, I don't really work out that much. And I was like, yeah, so like, I think that's like the longest conversation we've ever had. It was me and Capo, and we're trying to, you know, get tips from him on how to get in shape. The rest has always been like the cordial, you know, in the street conversation. What's up? How you doing? It's always been mad respect. We've never had a problem. So I wouldn't say we're friends, but yeah, we don't hang out.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Anita from the Star. My first question goes to you. I mean, we've seen you on this talk, and what would you say makes this fight different from the ones that you fought? And then you've seen Cassper fight. Two guys. Although the first one was not that much. Would you say that works as a
What makes this fight different? You know, I don't think not wanting to fight. At the end, they really try to pull out so many times, no pun intended. Like they tried so many times to get out of the fight, you know, and then the last thing they were banking on is for me to miss weight, and I didn't miss weight. And then it got, you know, I could see like the attitude that the dude didn't really want to fight. He's not as passionate as I am about the sport. So that's why after he got his W, you know, he ran away with the title. And I think someone who wants to fight, someone who initiated the fight, and I know that he's definitely going to give everything in this fight. So that's what's different for me.
What was the question again?
the advantage you see?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people would think maybe it's an advantage that I've seen him fight. Yeah, and I've seen him fight like a couple of times. Yeah, but I also think he's also had enough time to improve on like wherever he felt like he lacked, wherever people may have felt like he lacked. I mean, he's got coaches who I'm sure also saw the fight and like, I think we gotta re-strategize, work this way. And he's had like a lot more time to get back into training, come up with a different strategy. So I think, yeah, I mean, it's cool. I have seen him fight, but I don't necessarily think the fight is going to be the same type of fight. Yeah.
One of the things, this one goes for the book. One of the things that were mentioned is highlighting the importance of the boxing sport. Where do you guys stand with that?
I mean, for me, us just being here right now is already highlighting it already. Because we're not the only people who are fighting that day. Please, guys, like when you guys, name you guys, not if you guys come to the fight. Don't come late. Yeah, don't come late to the fight. There's going to be other fights before. One of my homies, you know, who I train with, his name is Willem, a beast out here. Trust me, like, you guys need to really see these guys, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a professional boxer. You know, yes, in the last couple of months, I've had to train like I am, you know, and I've had to really immerse myself into it. But there's guys who really do this. I'm with them every single day who are like, you know, sacrificing their lives, this is their bread and butter, this thing, you know. So they're gonna be fighting before me and Cass fight. There'll be a couple of them. And I think just that. So you guys coming to see us fight, I want you guys to come also see the gents fight. Because the guys are fire. You know, South Africa is some of the best boxers like in the world. You know, some guys from Eastern Cape, some guys from KZN, even some guys here in Joburg. Like, we have some amazing fighters.
I mean, the whole Celeb City started because we wanted to shine a light on boxing. Shout out to Mama Joyce, who's been, legend. That's Don Queen. Legend. That's Don Queen. Yeah. She's been a great help to us in ushering us into the world of boxing. Without her, we wouldn't be able to put the professional fights together. And active. They chose not to fight on this fight. My other trainer was like, I don't want distractions. I want to just concentrate on your fight. So, my dude, Siko is also fighting, I think, a month or 2 weeks after me. A month after me, he's fighting. You see, he hurt his hand. So man, I'm very, very passionate about boxing. I'm more passionate about South African boxing. So this is not something I'm gonna be doing, you know, just right now. I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be in, you know, the space and trying to push it forward. And yeah, that's the answer, man. We are very proud and keen to be shining a light on our champions.
Thank you so much. We're going to take 2 more questions before we wrap it up. So, who will be chatting to Boli?
All right. My name is Blessing. Yes. So I have a question. Throughout your life, what has been dominant? Is it like a superiority complex, or would you say inferiority complex? Before I actually land where I'm going to be at, so I'm going to read.
That's like one of the greatest questions I've ever been asked in my life, actually. And for me, it's the second one, inferiority complex. I've never been the best people, you know? Yeah. And that's how I was able to accomplish what I did in my life, you know? So definitely, inferiority for me.
Yeah, I think I second that as well. For me, what's different to what Cass had said is that I'd actually been very good at everything I did my whole life. But people always hated on me for being good at what I did from sports. I mean, you know, if people go find my bio somewhere, you know, I was on the SA athletics team. I did 100 meter, 200 meter, long jump, Morocco Swallows Academy. I don't want to sit and speak about my stuff.
I never made it that far. And I tried.
So but I mean, my parents always told me to be very humble. So I never imposed my greatness on people. In fact, I always wanted to share it and to help people. And like, you know, I was never the star player in the team. It's like I want the team to win. It's not about me being the pro, you know? And that's how I feel about the culture as well. Even though it's like, yo, we hip hop guys, like, yo, rapping, like, you know, I want to be the best. It's like, no, I want us to all be the best. I want the whole culture to grow. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Sorry, let me just follow it up a little bit. So, inferiority complex comes with a lot of repression, guilt, and shame, to say just a few. So, after the match, what do you have a game plan of getting yourself out of the gutter? Because it sounds like both of you are pretty in your head about yourself, and it's really just up to you what you do with yourself or about yourself. So, you have a game plan on how to mentally draw yourself out of this repression and actually just give it up if it doesn't, you know.
Facts. Like I'm not going there in there to play. Like I'm not playing with myself. I'm not cutting any shortcuts. I'm not skipping a kilometer. I'm not slowing down. I'm not complaining about a round. I'm doing everything because I'm not losing this match. So if I lose this, I'm quitting boxing. But after I win this, I'm fighting Big Zulu. So that's my
And I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you guys are not going to see the Big Zulu. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But with me, irrespective of what happens with the fight, I'm still going to be very involved in the boxing community. I still want to continue training. I even think, later on, not now, I want to take a break because I'm tired. I also like to just spend time with my daughter and just but I think next year I'd like to get into real pro fights. I'd like to take on a professional boxer, in my weight category, maybe. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Come on, mama. That's something I'm looking forward to. But even if I don't do that, I think overall boxing training is crazy. I know, but it's just good for my overall mental health, for my body. It's absolutely ridiculous. People don't understand what these guys sacrifice. It's a very lonely sport. Imagine they're in training and at home resting. That's it. The next day training, back home resting. If they have the luxury to just go home and rest, if they don't not working a 9 to 5, or because they're really not making a lot of money from these fights. But I really like to continue doing it. But I would like to take a break at the same time.
Sorry, let me stand up because he's part of the Maloko, so I know he has a few words to say to us as well. So let's take the next question.
So, hi guys, how are you? All the best to the both of you. I'm Asanda from SF. And my question is twofold. So, first thing, do you anticipate how many rounds the fight would be? And secondly, is there any specific part of your training that actually goes into dealing with possible technical knockout? I know that's a very typical partner-like question, or your partners are worried that what happens if somebody gets knocked out, is he prepared? So that's what I'd like to know, please.
Number one, what was the first question?
Maybe anticipation.
So, because the fight is going to be sanctioned by BSA, we have to follow certain rules that they have to, that they give us. So we can't exceed 5 rounds as we are not professionals. We don't have a license here. So they've only given us 5 rounds. We don't need, because we don't want to get to the 5th round. But
Sunana ambal na sunana.